Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to this live stream series. We're continuing my discussion on Windows Server 2000. So, Chapter 20 Best Practices for IT Governance and Compliance, ensuring integrity, security, and accountability in modern IT environments. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, organizations must not only adapt to new technologies but also ensure that their IT practices comply with increasingly complex regulatory and security requirements. IT governance and compliance have become critical components of effective IT management. They provide the structure, controls, and processes needed to ensure that technology supports business goals while minimizing risks for organizations still operating on legacy systems like Windows Server 2000. Understanding the importance of IT governance and compliance is key to making informed decisions during the transition to modern systems. This chapter explores the best practices of IT governance and compliance, how they apply to both legacy and modern systems, and how businesses can implement these frameworks to maintain security, mitigate risks, and meet regulatory requirements. 20.1 What is IT governance? IT governance is a system by which an organization directs and controls its IT systems to achieve its objectives. While managing risks and ensuring compliance, it involves setting policies, procedures, and guidelines that define how IT resources are utilized and monitored, aligning IT objectives with overall business goals and providing clear accountability for decisions related to IT. Key elements of IT governance. One, strategic alignment, ensuring that IT strategies support business objectives and goals. For example, a business using legacy systems like Windows Server 2000 must determine how to modernize its IT infrastructure while aligning with future business growth and digital transformation strategies. Value delivery. Maximize the value from IT investment by focusing on the efficient use and resource of minimizing waste. Risk management. Identifying, managing, and mitigating IT risks, including cybersecurity threats, data breaches, and compliance violations. Resource management. Managing IT resources, people, technology, and information in a way that ensures efficiency and cost effectiveness. Performance measurement. Establish clear metrics and KPIs, key performance indicators to monitor the effectiveness of IT operations and governance practices. 20.2 The importance of compliance. Compliance refers to adhering to legal, regulatory, and international standards related to IT systems and data management. As businesses increasingly rely on IT to store, process sensitive data, compliance regulations such as GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations, HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act, and PCI DSS, Payment Card Data Security Standard, is crucial to avoiding legal penalties, reputational damage, and data breaches. For businesses operating legacy systems like Windows Server 2000, compliance becomes even more challenging as these systems may lack the security features and updates required by modern compliance standards. Therefore, organizations must be proactive in assessing the compliance readiness of their existing systems and planning for updates and integrations. Key compliance areas. 1. Data protection and privacy, ensuring that sensitive data is stored securely and is protected from unauthorized access in line with data protection regulations such as GDPR, access control and authentication, implementing strong access controls, user authentication, and authorization mechanisms to protect systems from unauthorized access, audit and reporting, maintain maintaining detailed records of IT operations and user activity for auditing purposes. This is often required by industry-like regulations and ensures that organizations can demonstrate compliance, incident response, and reporting. Having a clear plan and process in place for responding to data breaches, cyber attacks, or compliance violations. Regulations like GDPR require businesses to report breaches within specific timeframes. 20.3 Best practice for IT governance. Effective IT governance provides a framework for managing and controlling IT resources, ensuring they contribute to business objectiveness and compliance. Below are several best practices that organizations should consider for successful IT governance. 1. Establish clear IT policies and procedures. A key element of IT governance is the development of clear and comprehensive IT policies and procedures. These documents define the rules how IT resources should be used, how data is handled, and how systems are secured. Best practice. Create IT policies for areas such as data security, software usage, change management, incident response, and disaster recovery. Ensure that policies are regularly reviewed and updated to stay in line with evolving business needs, technologies, and compliance regulations. 2. Implement strong risk management practices. Risk management is essential to any IT governance framework. Identifying potential risks and proactively addressing them can help minimize the impact of security incidents, system failures, or regulatory violations. Best practice. Conduct regular risk assessments to identify vulnerabilities in your systems and processes, particularly for legacy environments. Implement risk mitigation strategies such as regular software updates, security patches, data encryption, and user training. 3. Align IT and business objectives. IT governance must ensure that IT resources are being used to support business goals and objectives. For example, in a business still using Windows Server 2000, the IT environment should work with the executive team to define the path to modernize systems in a way that enhances the organization's overall productivity, security, and competitiveness. Best practice. Establish regular communication between IT and business stakeholders to ensure that IT strategies align with organizational goals. Develop a technology roadmap that outlines the timeline and resources required to modernize infrastructure and support the company's long-term growth. 4. Ensure transparency and accountability. Transparency and accountability are vital for ensuring that IT decisions are made with proper oversight and in the best interest of the organization. Clear roles, responsibilities, and reporting structures are key to maintaining governance. Best practice. Define IT governance committees that include representatives from different departments, including IT, legal, compliance, and risk management. Establish clear accountability for decision making, such as assigning owners for critical systems and data security initiatives. 20.4 Best practice for IT compliance. Compliance with relevant legal, regulatory, and industry standards is essential for any business. Organizations must ensure that their IT infrastructure, data management, and security practices align with these requirements. 1. Implement data protection and privacy measures. As data privacy regulations like GDPR become more stringent, businesses must take steps to protect personal and sensitive data. This includes encrypting data, securing communication channels, and providing users with control over their personal data. Best practice. Implement strong encryption for both and rest and in transit. Use data making and tokenization to reduce exposure of sensitive data in non-production environments. 2. Enforcing strong access control and authentication. One of the core principles of IT compliance is ensuring that only authorized personnel have access to systems and data. Implementing strong authentication methods such as multi-factor authentication (MFA) and restricting access based on the principle of least privilege are crucial. Best practice: implement role-based access control (RBAC) to restrict user access based on their job responsibilities. Use MFA to add additional layer of security for access to critical systems and sensitive data. 3. Maintain comprehensive audit trails. Auditing is a key component of compliance, especially for industries that require detailed logs of system activities. Audits help business identify potential security threats and provide evidence of compliance during regulatory reviews. Best practice: enable logging on critical systems, ensuring that all user activity, system changes, and access to sensitive data are recorded. Use security information and event management (SIEM) tools to aggregate and analyze logs for anomalies of suspicious behavior. Prepare for instant response and reporting in the event of a data breach or security incident. Businesses must be prepared to respond quickly and in compliance with regulatory requirements like law. GDPR require businesses to notify affected parties within a certain time frame, while other regulations mandate breach reporting to authorities. Best practice: develop and regularly test an incident response plan that outlines steps for containment, investigation, reporting, and recovery. Ensure that your team is familiar with compliance requirements related to breach notifications, such as a 72-hour reporting window under GDPR. 20.5 Adapting governance and compliance to cloud environments. As organizations move to hybrid and multi-cloud environments, adapting IT governance and compliance frameworks to cloud infrastructure becomes increasingly important. Cloud environments introduce unique challenges such as shared responsibility for security and compliance between the cloud provider and the customer. Key considerations: understanding the shared responsibility model. In a cloud environment, the responsibility for security and compliance is shared between the cloud provider and the customer. Understand what the provider is responsible for, e.g., physical security infrastructure, and what the organization must manage: access controls, data protection. Evaluate cloud compliance certifications. Ensure that the cloud provider you work with comply with industry standards such as ISO 27001, SOC 2, and PCI DSS. Cloud providers often have their own compliance certifications and audit logs that business can leverage to meet their own compliance requirements. Control and monitor cloud access. Use cloud native tools to enforce access control policies and monitor activity within your cloud environments. Services like AWS Identity and Access Management (IAM) or Azure Active Directory allow you to manage user permissions and cloud activity. So, conclusion: IT governance and compliance are critical components of any IT strategy. Whether you are operating on legacy systems like Windows 2000 or transitioning to more advanced technologies, by establishing clear governance frameworks, implementing strong compliance measures, and adapting to the needs of hybrid and cloud environments, business can ensure the security, accountability, and performance of their IT infrastructure. For organizations that are still relying on legacy systems, this chapter emphasizes the importance of modernizing governance and compliance practices to meet evolving regulatory and security requirements. By adopting these best practices, business can protect themselves from compliance violations, reduce operational risks, and maintain trusts of customers, partners, and stakeholders. In the next chapter, I'll discuss disaster recovery and business continuity planning. So I'll leave it here today for this live stream. Thanks for spending the time with me, and hope you have a nice evening.